Yeah, I want to just share some on this topic. Um, so when I was in the fourth way, this is a concept in the fourth way, the Gurdjieff-Ouspensky work. But actually, later I found out that actually this is very much part of this direct path, the non-duality Advaita Vedanta path. But I'll take it a little bit with a fourth way spin. The most important idea of that big philosophical system and the most important practice was this practice or idea of self-remembering. It was called this self-remembering. And then this self-remembering was considered, so I want to bring it because it's I want to make all these suggestions and all kind of exercise here a little more and more to have a handle on it, so you have it in your pocket and it's less vague what to do if you want to do something. So this practice or exercise, self-remembering, was considered to be that will change the work from theoretical, intellectual to trying to experientially do something or about the work. And then this what's called self-remembering is understood differently depending where we are at. And depending where we are at, this can have different meanings. So starting from like a very basic meaning, which is still very extremely deep and useful. So self-remembering would mean, an aspect of self-remembering would be like you are walking about the street or you're driving and you realize that you've been lost in daydreaming for the last 20 minutes, thinking about this or that, all this lost somewhere, you didn't see anything and you were just lost in daydreaming. So self-remembering would be to be like, whoa, okay, can wake up and come back to the here and now, coming back to this moment, here and now awareness, snapping out of being lost in thoughts, snapping out of being in this daydreaming.
So that brief moment when you go, oh, wow, I was just totally way out there. And that's when you're in awareness just for a moment.
Yeah, so this is the switching from being lost in thought to, it could be first there is a realization, like could be non-verbal. You don't have to have, oh man, I was lost. It can be like, you're back. Or you can come up with some little advice in the back of your mind saying, hey, come on, man, be present, be here right now, you know? But anyway, coming back from daydreaming to being present in the present, this we call it was an aspect of self-remembering. Yeah. So, and this is a prerequisite. I mean, nothing can be done if we are checked out all the time and lost in thought. So this is important. This is more like what would be in Zen, you know, wherever you are, whenever you eat, walk, or travel, be where you are. Otherwise, you'll miss most of your life. This mindfulness, being in the here and now, which became such a cliche. So usually we are lost in daydreaming, in thoughts, in future movie, trying to plan, to control, to anticipate. All this, or being lost in the past, what have happened, lost in memories, she left me, you know, what would I do, you know, rehashing the impression we had on other people, oh, did I do a good job, oh man, all this being hijacked and swamped by these inner voices, you know. When this is happening, this is the state of sleep, and any attempt of coming out of that into the present, we can say this is self-remembering, remembering oneself, remembering to be conscious, being, another word would be like being conscious in the here and now, be present, being present, practice, being mindful, being aware, so all that. Another aspect of self-remembering would be when we are caught, identify with some feeling, we are caught into some strong feeling, you know, whatever, impatience, frustration, rage, judgment, you know, to, again, something in us wakes up. And then instead of being the judgment, being lost in the feeling, we become the witness of it. Okay, I'm all right, man, just be aware of it. Just be aware of this feeling, or observe this reaction. So any attempt to de-identify from a feeling then creates this sense of separation. Separation from, in this context, separation is a good thing, of unhooking or unsticking from the state of identification. We can be identified in a chatter of the many thoughts, or we can be identified with one feeling. So any attempt of unhooking will be like to remember oneself and thus become the witness, step in the witnessing position as opposed to being the feeling. So this is a prerequisite, this is very important work. Instead of being identified with one thing, and all our sense of self is into this feeling, into this desire, into this judgment, into this emotion. Basically, we are lost, submerged in a feeling. It's called state of identification. Anything to come out of that, to witness, to observe the phenomena, this is self-remembering. And so I encourage you in this kind of work, although, and we used to talk all the time about it in these fourth way groups, just to talk all the time about it, because otherwise we forget. And so just a constant reminder, and we'll set ourselves reminders. And the idea was throughout the day, as often as you can, starting from the moment you open your eyes, to remember about the work of being present instead of being asleep, being unconscious, being lost in thought. So this is one aspect of self-remembering. Although from one angle, when we do this, it's more like a snapping out of being checked out, or de-identifying being something. Is not really yet self-remembering, because the self is none of that. So a deeper dimension of self-remembering is once we have some more clarity, that once we already had some glimpse that I'm not the thought, I'm not the feeling, I'm not the images, I'm not the memories, these come and go, but I am the perceiver of them. So basically, once we already have some experiential glimpse and taste and understanding that we are the being, we are the presence. So this is a very important step in our on the path to know, to verify. This can be sudden, can be gradual, can be reminded that what I really am, the essential nature, is that which observes, that the perceiver, not the perceived. And then it could be that we are more clear about that, we know that, you know. So then self-remembering actually goes to a deeper dimension. So whenever we catch ourselves going unconsciously about life, self-remembering means like, oh, okay, I'm using words now, but it's wordless usually. I'm coming back to the sense of I'm not this guy, I'm not Mihai, I'm the being, I'm the presence. So remembering about being the being, you know. So that's a deeper aspect. However, we need to go for step one. I mean, I was in step one for fucking 15 years. And I didn't know about step two because I didn't explain, or I didn't get it, or whatever. So the first step, it is very useful as a prerequisite or anything better than being lost in imagination, daydreaming, and identification. However, if it remains there, it's some kind of mindfulness practice. You know, it's still done. It's not clear who the self is. It's more like some awareness application. Still, it already gives more relief, more, you're less caught in stuff, less in the effect of things. Step 2 is to remember that, to come back to the true sense of being the being. But this step 2 doesn't make sense unless we already know that somehow. But that's why we talk about it here. This self-remembering term, actually, I found out later, actually, it came from this, is called Atma Vichara, which was an Indian term, which could be translated as self-inquiry, or self-remembering, or self-abiding. So one aspect of self-remembering, what we do here, what we've done lately, was to, you know, as we did inner exploration, and there were strong feelings evoked or thoughts, this exercise that we've done before, what is aware of this feeling in my chest? To drop this question without expecting any mental answer. To whom do these thoughts appear? To whom do these nagging thoughts appear? What is aware of these sounds right now? What is hearing these words? So this is the self-inquiry exercise, which actually I find it actually much more productive than simple mindfulness, because that is like a grenade somehow. And if we are really interested, this doesn't work if we are not interested, and it's just a mental, like, you know, what am I, what is aware. But if we are really interested, this thought, what am I, what is aware, who am I, to whom do these thoughts appear, this is the ultimate thought that in the Indian teachings, they say that this is like the stick in which you put things on fire to be burned, and finally you put the stick too, because you don't need it. So this self-inquiry, these questions, they have when somebody is ready for that or resonates with that, this is the fastest path towards finding out who we really are, finding out that we are this presence, we are the being as opposed to the thoughts, finding out the source of the mind and of the feelings. So this will be another aspect of, let's say, self-remembering, would be to inquire into what am I.
What did you call it? You call it, what's the Indian word for it?
Oh, they call it Atma Vichara, or Atma Vicharya, and would be like, was translated either as self-inquiry. I guess makes more sense to, you can't remember the self unless we know the self. So self-inquiry, self-remembering, and then self-abiding, which would be a more advanced, more advanced step on the path, when we already know I'm not the thought, I'm not the body, and then we often are present. We are the presence knowingly during the day, and the idea now is to just start to. This is more like throughout the day, not just during the circle once a week or during a meditation. So we are more like having interactions with people, having relationships, dealing with clients, business, whatever, while feeling ourselves to be the being. So abiding And then, you know, if there are other things like to explore what is this. Okay, I'm this, whatever it is, we call it being, but what's the nature of this? Is it, yeah, looking into the nature of our being, and then this gradually brings this elimination of worries. The more we go on this path, especially towards discovering what we are deeper and deeper, then there's a effortless decrease of worries, of sense of lack, and there's an effortless increase of sense of imperturbability. In imperturbability, like imperturbable. Like basically, you can have pandemic, you can have smoke, and this, and then all this is happening, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's okay, you know, because basically the consciousness that we are is unaffected by all these things. So anyway, so this was a little bit of a lot of condensed on this self-remembering, and don't be afraid to use the first step also whenever needed. So because without that, the default state of sleep is that we are all the time, there are thoughts going, and then we are sucked in each one of them, and feelings, and then this desire, this fear, and then this is suffering, you know. All right. Well, with this, we would like to go into more like a little meditative time. And we can have questions or sharing about this later. So close your eyes. Or you can start with the eyes open, whatever works. Tuning into the breath for a minute or so. As a way to somehow descend from the mental, from the intellect, kind of drop from the head into the sense of the body. Giving the full weight of the body to the chair, to the couch, the floor. And simply welcoming the totality of our experience, welcoming the flow of these perceptions that arise in and now, sounds, thoughts, sensations, without trying to do anything to them, without trying to manipulate or manage or control anything. So allowing, especially any sensations, any feelings, giving them freedom to be. Yet without going into the past or the future. So resting, knowing, being present to the totality of the now. For many of us at the beginning, it's usually mostly thoughts, seems a lot of thoughts. So we don't try to stop them from arising. We just simply observe them without engaging, not getting involved. It's as if the thoughts are like a train coming through a station, and we are the station. We don't hop onto the train to go elsewhere. But we don't try to stop the trains from coming. That's not possible either. Simply allowing them to, images, voices, to just do their thing. We are interested in just being present to the thoughts, to the sounds, to the breeze. Whenever we notice we've drifted, took a taxi, took the train, as soon as we notice, we just right away hop off, come back to just this here and now moment. And what we really are, that which is aware of these thoughts, is also aware of sounds, is effortlessly aware of feelings in the body, energies, localizations. So tuning into this sense of easiness by relaxing the attention, not focusing, as if the awareness comes is behind you, behind the body, is hearing from behind, awareing from behind, not from the head. Is relaxing the attention, no focus, simply allowing ourselves to just be. Relax any sense of trying to meditate well. Relax the sense of the meditator. Don't try to reach any special state. It's more like chilling on the beach. Effortlessly present. Sounds, random thoughts, sensations floating through the space. As well as this empty fullness. It's aware, effortlessly aware, empty fullness. Nothing to do. And if there is any sense of unpleasantness in the body, like a holding on or some so-called emotion in the chest or any emotional energy, we welcome it completely. Let go, resisting anything. Everything is okay. We don't even focus on it. Releasing custody over these contractions, feelings, as if there are some little schools of fish. We let go, trying to keep them together, give them full permission to free float in this now presence, empty fullness. Also, we don't try to get rid of it or make them go away. If there's this whatever unpleasantness, it's okay. Just let it be what it is. Open the attention and tune into this sense of being. It's awake space. So with this, we usually focus on the sound, but we can notice how the bell sound actually reveals the spacious silence in which the vibrations arise and fade away. Without focusing, notice the spacious silence. without expecting any intellectual answer, to see what is it that, what is aware right now. What am I? Even if we have the correct word answer, let this question turn you towards that which perceives right now. The name doesn't matter. This doesn't need an effort. No practice. No focusing. And notice how the sounds and the thoughts and the feelings are effortlessly being noticed, perceived by you, the real you. What that that which is aware of our problems is problem free. That whatever it is which is aware of feelings is not a feeling. Just allow yourself to simply enjoy what you already are. This aware presence is not a result of a meditation. It was already there when you came. So for the last few minutes, simply do nothing. Just allowing ourselves to be where we already are. Freedom itself. What we really are cannot be lost. Doesn't depend on eyes open or closed. So you may even allow the eyelids to open. That which perceives sounds and thoughts and feelings is that which sees.